When and how did the security team start?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because we had an incident in July of 2018 with an individual came in, and we found out he was a homeless individual, but he came in, put a backpack down in the sanctuary during the service, and immediately got up and left the backpack there. People started looking at each other like, what's going on? We didn't really have any direction at that time. We found the individual. He happened to just go to the men's room, and it turned out to be fine. But at the trustees meeting we had in July, we talked about that incident and the need to have a security, maybe we should be thinking about having a security program in place. At that time we started hearing about shootings of the churches throughout the country and bombings and what have you. So we kicked it around a little bit in July, and then in August we brought that back up again, and I volunteered to take charge and try to pull a program together. And with that, I went to the Brunswick Police, and I also independently went to Glenn County Police Department, Neil Juff, Sheriff Jump, and his undersheriff. Individually, they came up to the church and walked the church doors down and gave me some ideas. What most people don't realize is we have 16 doors in this church. And when I first joined the church in 2016, on Sundays, those doors were open. There was no control on the doors. And both police departments said, you need to control what doors are open, what doors are closed. All right? And obviously, when we started locking doors, we had a lot of people upset. All right? And I understand that because, people said, Mike, this is a church, which we should welcome all the time. Once I shared with them in today's environment, where I said, when I grew up, we never locked our doors in the house until nighttime, everybody was in, right? None of the kids had keys to the doors, right? Today, I'm sure each one of us, when we leave our house, our doors are locked. And once I started talking to people in that way, they better understood the need that we needed to change. And we focused it down. We broke our security program up into 3 segments. The morning service, contemporary service, then the Sunday school, all right, and then the traditional service in the sanctuary. And at any one time, our program's set up now that there's no more than 3 doors unlocked at any one time. And I think it's been working pretty good overall. Also, when I developed the program, we set it up with walkie-talkies. Our security team is walkie-talkies. Now, I'm going a little bit back, but we have 13 members in our security team. In addition to that, in 2019, January of 2019, we hired the college police, an off-duty college police officer to help. And the why for that is they have the right to arrest. And our Sunday services consist of typically 2 team members. One is a College Place team member, and the other one is a police officer from the college.
Tell us what the security team does on any given Sunday morning.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, again, we get in, and there's a certain time that the doors, we start, obviously, when there's a contemporary service, all right, we start at certain times. We unlock the 3 doors that affect that service, all right? We station one of our team members outside one of the doors to greet any new people and also to be alert, all right? And then the police officer also helps us out at a certain point. Once we start locking the doors at different times, all right, the police officer moves down to a different avenue. When we set up this program, one of the things we were able to do, and I want to give a lot of credit to Bruce Patton for this, all right? We reached out for GEMA, Georgia Emergency Management Agency, and we were able to obtain a grant of $72,000, all right? What it did is allow us to put security lighting on the outside of the church, all right? And if you remember before, it was pretty dark around here at nighttime, all right? Now it's more like a ball field, lit up. Also, what it did for us, it allowed us to buy security cameras and monitors. We have 24 security cameras strategically placed around the church, and there's 3 monitors that my security team uses, and I have a 4th monitor for the office staff, all right, for just when they're here during the week and they can monitor things going outside. So that's a tremendous help, all right, as you can imagine, because as long as we're doing our jobs right, in other words, watching those monitors and cameras, if there was to be something unusual, I'd like to think we're going to catch it before anybody enters the church. And obviously that's the key. And then, if we see something unusual, like I said earlier, we have a code we call, all right? It heightens the awareness to the team members, and they have designated duties at that point. We used to have 23 team members, all right? And the police officer. Now, what did that allow us to do? That allowed us to have our team members monitoring the cameras in the doors, and the police officer, the uniformed police officer, was outside roving the building, right? And the beauty of that is visual deterrence, right? I mean, somebody coming by with bad intentions sees a police officer on duty. I don't wish bad on any other church, but it's likely they would move on, all right? Unfortunately, we don't have the staff anymore to do that, and our security officer is now inside the building, all right? And I'd like to grow the members so that maybe we can ever get back to that 3-member team instead of a 2-member team. Well, obviously, we'd like people that are physically fit. We're not looking for people to be combative, all right? But any team member that joins my team, I want them to be attentive to what they're assigned to do, So what I do right now is I set up a quarterly schedule, and I send it out to the team members, asking them to fill a slot, And typically, we have 11 active team members. I can get that filled pretty much fast. At times we struggle to get it done, but I'm always able to get it filled. So, and that turns out to be, we have broken this up into 2 segments. We have a morning segment and an afternoon segment. So if a team member is only available for the first 2 hours in the morning from 8:15 to 10:15, that's fine. Then I need to find a second team member from 10:15 to 12:15. A lot of people just take the 4-hour shift, all right, for me. And that helps a lot just from the standpoint of trying to schedule things. In addition, we provide for Bible study, all right? We try to do that on Wednesday nights. I know there's a lot of people would like us to be up here more often, all right? And I would like to be able to say our team could, but unfortunately, the team members, we don't have enough team members to commit to being up here on other occasions. There's nothing worse than if people are afraid to come to church because of a possible event. And I want you to tell you that I know for myself and a majority of our team members, all right? We take the job serious. We take our duty serious. And we only hope that, first of all, nothing happens, but if it does, we would respond appropriately and timely.